Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An unselfish standpoint. The Golden Bachelorette's Chock Chapple's recent cryptic relationship update makes me wonder if he was sending Joan Vassos a message. In a recent interview, the Golden Bachelorette winner, Chock Chapple, gave an unsettling relationship update that is making me wonder if he was sending Joan Vassos a message. Chock, 61, is from Wichita, Kansas, and came onto the Golden Bachelorette season 1 as a divorcee and is semi-widow. His fiancée passed away in 2022. He sparked the ultimate interest from lead, Joan, 62, from Maryland, and she gave him her final rose during the season final. The pair left Tahiti engaged, but they have yet to get married as they've been figuring out a bevy of distressing relationship logistics. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 was filmed in July 2024, and it ran from mid-September 2024 to mid-November 2024. Joan and Chock were only able to step out as an engaged couple after the outcome of the season was revealed. Since then, I've noticed the pair have hit the ground running in terms of capitalizing on their spotlight by launching influencer careers. However, I've seen them struggle to navigate their long-distance relationship, blend their families, and focus on what's important, which leads me to believe that Chock was sending Joan a direct hint in his recent interview. Chock did a video interview with relationship and marriage coaches at Bachelorette, and Joan was also on the call. The topics covered included the pair's engagement updates, family blending, and long-distance relationship navigation. But the topic that stood out to me was Chock's take on relationships, which I found to be poignant in terms of how it relates to Chock and Joan, and their current relationship status and struggles. He went on to relay, "Because I don't want them to be miserable, unhappy, and I don't want the same thing for myself. But I look at it as from an unselfish standpoint, is I want that person to be happy." While I believe Chock is in love with Joan, I think his remark was targeted towards Joan, who sat stone-faced as Chock was sharing his feelings. What I took from Chock's sentiments was that he does want Joan to be with him, but that means that she has to fit into his life. To me, this plays into the larger dynamics at hand between Joan and Chock that raise concern, as Joan has been making the most sacrifices to be with Chock. Joan has been putting forth a lot of energy and time away from her family to make her connection with Chock work. Initially, Joan envisioned her and Chock spending equal time with each other in their respective states, with a shared home base in New York City. However, the NYC plans have seemingly come to a halt, and I see that Joan has been spending more time in Kansas and on vacation with Chock than she has with her family. Joan is stretched thin, and I don't think Chock is in the same boat. With regard to Chock's comments about needing Joan to want to be with him, I think he was sending a gaslighting message that he would be fine without her and that she needed to continue showing up for him in order for him not to want to walk away. I may be reading into it too much, but based on their current issue and logistically chaotic romance, I don't believe my notion is far off. It's clear that the pair are in love, but I see it coming with conditions for Chock. I was unsettled by his interview remarks, as I now think it's clear that Joan needs to continue fitting better into Chock's life than he has been with hers. Joan originally said on The Golden Bachelorette that she wanted a man to fit into her lifestyle and family, and that she wouldn't waver on that, but she has done a 180 and is the one doing the most conceding in the relationship. Joan and Chock have a tendency I've noticed that is concerning. They love to paint a rosy picture on social media and go out of their way to showcase the positive aspects of their union, but I don't think it comes across as believable. Given the mounting core issues plaguing the couple's viability, I can't believe that everything is all good between them, and the interview between Chock, Joan, and the relationship experts was a discernible crack to me. I think Joan and Chock are masking their relationship problems and putting in every effort to showcase a positive front. I realize that Chock has sincere adoration for Joan, but his comments about not wanting to be with someone who doesn't want to be with him, I take literally. Chock could have been talking in hypotheticals with regard to him and Joan's potential for not working out on the show. But I translated to their current state of affairs. It's clear that the golden Bachelorette couple, Joan and Chock, want to make their relationship work. Chapple isn't the kind of man who needs to yell to be heard. On the Golden Bachelorette, while the spotlight often drifted to the more boisterous contenders vying for Joan Vassos' attention, Chock's quiet charisma and depth shone in a different light. He was the kind of contestant who didn't try to outshine others, but instead made space for everyone around him to shine with him. And now, weeks after his departure from the show, and the emotional hometown date that stirred hearts across Bachelor Nation, he's dropped a cryptic relationship update that has me wondering, was he subtly speaking to Joan? It all started with a post, just one. A black and white photo of Chock standing on a beach at dusk, the wind tussling his silver-streaked hair, the waves soft behind him, with the caption, "Sometimes love isn't about being chosen. Sometimes it's about letting someone walk a path they need to find alone." He didn't tag anyone. No hashtags. Just that sentence and a lone heart emoji, not the red kind, but the white one. Clean, pure, unassuming. But make no mistake, Bachelor Nation doesn't miss a beat. Fans were instantly abuzz, dissecting every word. Was Chock reflecting on his own journey? Or was this message meant for Joan Vassos, the woman who once whispered to him during a late-night chat on a park bench that she never expected to feel this deeply again? Their chemistry had been undeniable, and yet she sent him home. Not in anger, not in confusion, but in sorrow. A tearful goodbye wrapped in mature respect. But now, this post, the timing, the tone, the restraint, feels like a whisper sent into the wind, hoping it finds its way back to the one heart he hasn't quite stopped thinking about, an unselfish heart. If there's one word that encapsulates Chapple, it's unselfish. From the first group date, where he gave up his alone time with Joan so a fellow contestant could have closure, to the evening when he stayed up late in the kitchen making tea for the night-old crew, Chock was always there, not to be seen, but to see others, to listen, to care. And when it came to Joan, he never pressured her. He never tried to convince her that he was the right one. Instead, he gave her space. He honored her hesitations, even when they cut deep. In one confessional, Chock said something I'll never forget. "If she needs to take a walk without me beside her, that doesn't mean I love her any less. Love isn't about possession, it's about permission." That line could have been lifted straight from a love poem. And now, with this cryptic post surfacing, I can't help but feel it's a continuation of that same sentiment. He didn't come out and say, "Joan, I still love you." That wouldn't be his style. Instead, he offered a reflection about love, about choice, about letting go, not with bitterness, but with grace. Almost as if he's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for someone. Someone to find her way back if her heart guides her there. A subtle signal? In the world of Bachelor spin-offs, breakups and post-show drama tend to involve Instagram lives, podcast call-outs, and subtweeting wars. Chock. He's a relic of romance past. A slow-burn gentleman in a world of viral confessionals. That's why his post hit so differently. Fans began speculating that his post came shortly after Joan was spotted at a charity gala, solo, no ring in sight, and noticeably quiet when asked about her final pick. The timing is curious. Could Chock have heard whispers? Could he have known that Joan may be second-guessing the decision she made when cameras were rolling and pressure was high? Or maybe, just maybe, he didn't know anything at all, but wanted to make sure that if she was watching, she knew that door hadn't been locked. Because even if Joan was the one who walked away, Chock never seemed to blame her. And that unselfish standpoint might just be the most romantic thing of all. A heart still open? What's remarkable is that Chock isn't out there dating a 20-something model or leveraging his sudden fan base into endorsements. He's not trying to rebrand himself as an influencer. He still walks his dog through his Virginia neighborhood, still volunteers at the community garden, still reads at the local library for Children's Hour. When he speaks about love, it's as though he's speaking about stewardship, caretaking, not domination or seduction. He once said on the show, "Love is a verb, not a feeling." And I wonder if his cryptic post was just that, a verb, an action, a subtle opening. Not a demand, not a plea. Just a message in a bottle. Could Joan hear it? That's the lingering question. Because for all her poise and empathy, Joan's journey wasn't easy. She carried grief, guilt, and the weight of being the first ever golden bachelorette. The pressure to get it right was immense. And maybe she did pick someone in the end who looked right on paper, but paper doesn't curl around you at night.